What if I told you that the breakfast sitting on your table this morning could be silently destroying your kidneys? And most people over 60 never realize it until the damage is already severe. As a doctor, one of the most heartbreaking things I see is how many older adults slowly lose kidney function without ever feeling pain in the beginning. No dramatic warning signs, no sudden collapse, just quiet symptoms people dismiss every day. Waking up exhausted, swollen ankles, brain fog, low energy, needing more naps, feeling weaker year after year. And by the time many patients finally discover something is wrong, their kidneys have already been struggling silently for a very long time. What scares me most is this. For millions of Americans over 60, the damage often starts first thing in the morning. Because after your body spends 6 to 8 hours overnight filtering toxins and cleaning your blood, your kidneys wake up vulnerable and exhausted. And the first foods you eat can either help them recover or push them deeper into inflammation, blood sugar spikes, and long-term damage. That's why in today's video, I'm going to show you the 5 breakfast foods I recommend most often to support kidney health naturally after 60. These are not expensive supplements or internet fads. They are simple foods backed by real science that may help reduce inflammation, stabilize blood sugar, support kidney repair, and protect those tiny filtering units your body depends on every second of the day. And stay with me until the end, because one of these foods has been quietly linked to slowing kidney decline in ways that even surprise many doctors. Most people think their kidneys are damaged by aging alone. But in reality, for millions of adults over 60, the damage quietly begins at breakfast, with the very foods they trust every single morning. Sugary cereal, white toast, flavored pastries. These foods create a rapid spike in blood sugar that sends a wave of inflammation through the body before the day has even started. And your kidneys feel that stress immediately. Tiny filtering units called nephrons are forced to work harder and harder, trying to clean blood that suddenly becomes overloaded with glucose and inflammatory waste. The frightening part is that this damage happens silently. No pain, no warning, just gradual exhaustion building month after month. That's why oatmeal is one of the most powerful breakfast foods for aging kidneys. Not the sugary instant packets most people buy, but real rolled oats. Oatmeal contains a special soluble fiber called beta-glucan that slows the release of sugar into the bloodstream, helping prevent the dangerous morning glucose spikes that quietly scar kidney tissue over time. In fact, research published in the Journal of Renal Nutrition found that adults who regularly consumed oats showed significantly lower inflammatory markers in as little as 4 weeks. And many seniors notice something else when they switch to oatmeal in the morning. Steadier energy, less bloating, and fewer of those heavy, drained feelings by midday. Because sometimes the body is not asking for more caffeine, it's asking for less inflammation. But reducing inflammation alone is not enough to protect aging kidneys, because after 60, the body slowly loses something just as important: its ability to repair itself efficiently. And this is where eggs become far more powerful than most people realize. For years, many seniors avoided eggs because they feared cholesterol, never knowing that their kidneys were quietly starving for one of the highest quality protein sources the body can actually use. Think about how many people over 60 wake up feeling weaker than they used to. Climbing stairs feels harder, muscles recover slower. Even small tasks leave them exhausted by afternoon. Many assume that's simply normal aging. But in many cases, the body is struggling because it no longer has enough efficient protein to maintain and rebuild tissues, including the delicate filtering structures inside the kidneys themselves. Eggs are unique because they contain what scientists call a high biological value protein, meaning the body can absorb and use almost all of it with very little waste left behind for the kidneys to filter. In fact, egg protein is considered one of the most efficient proteins in the world. Egg whites are especially important because they contain albumin, the same critical protein healthy kidneys are designed to preserve inside the body. And eggs also provide selenium and choline, nutrients linked to protecting kidney cells from oxidative damage and age-related decline. Many seniors who begin adding 2 properly prepared eggs to breakfast notice something surprising within weeks: steadier strength, better energy, and less of that drained feeling that seems to follow them through the day. Because sometimes the body is not simply getting older, it is quietly asking for the nutrients needed to heal. But even healing protein is not enough if your kidneys are still waking up every morning under a layer of invisible oxidative stress. And this is exactly why blueberries have become one of the most talked about anti-aging foods among kidney researchers in recent years. What most people don't realize is that your kidneys work all night long while you sleep, filtering toxins, balancing minerals, and cleaning your blood nonstop for hours. By morning, those tiny filtering cells are exhausted, surrounded by unstable molecules called free radicals that slowly damage kidney tissue from the inside out. And many seniors feel the effects without connecting them to kidney stress at all. They wake up groggy, puffy around the eyes, mentally foggy, low energy before the day even begins. Some blame age, others blame poor sleep, but sometimes the body is simply overwhelmed by silent inflammation and oxidative damage building up night after night. This is where blueberries become incredibly powerful. Blueberries are packed with anthocyanins, the deep blue antioxidants shown to help neutralize oxidative stress before it causes lasting harm to kidney cells. In fact, studies published in Oxidative Medicine and Cellular Longevity found that anthocyanins may help reduce kidney fibrosis, the dangerous scarring process linked to long-term kidney decline. And unlike processed sugary breakfasts that fuel inflammation, blueberries help stabilize blood sugar while protecting delicate blood vessels feeding the kidneys. Many people over 60 notice something surprisingly fast when they begin adding blueberries to oatmeal or yogurt every morning. Clearer thinking, lighter energy, and less of that heavy, sluggish feeling that follows them through the afternoon. Because sometimes the body is not breaking down as quickly as people fear, it is simply starving for protection. But wait, the next 2 breakfast foods may be even more important, because one of them has been quietly linked to how fast kidney damage progresses after 60, and most people never think about eating it in the morning. And surprisingly, one of the most powerful foods for protecting aging kidneys is something many Americans still think of as just a side dish. Sweet potatoes rarely appear on lists of kidney-supporting foods, yet researchers have become increasingly interested in them because of how they affect blood sugar, inflammation, and cellular repair all at the same time. And after the age of 60, that combination becomes incredibly important. Many seniors wake up tired, shaky, or craving sugar in the morning without realizing their bodies are trapped in a cycle of unstable glucose spikes. White bread, pancakes, processed cereals, they create fast energy for a moment, then a crash that leaves the kidneys dealing with wave after wave of inflammatory stress. Over time, those repeated spikes can damage the tiny blood vessels feeding the kidneys, slowly reducing their ability to filter waste efficiently. Sweet potatoes work differently. They release energy slowly and steadily, helping prevent the dramatic glucose swings that silently exhaust aging kidneys. They're also rich in beta-carotene, which the body converts into vitamin a nutrient linked to maintaining the delicate tubular cells inside the kidneys that help reabsorb nutrients and remove toxins properly. And according to research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, adults with higher vitamin A intake showed better long-term preservation of kidney function as they aged. But what surprises many people most is how quickly their mornings begin to feel different after making this one switch. More stable energy, fewer cravings, less afternoon fatigue. Because sometimes the body is not demanding more stimulation, it's begging for stability. And if you've ever found yourself relying on coffee and sugar just to get through the morning, let me know in the comments, because many people over 60 experience this without realizing their kidneys may already be under pressure. But even stable blood sugar is only part of the story, because there's another hidden system inside the body that may influence kidney health far more than most doctors talked about just a few years ago. And this is where the conversation around kidney health becomes even more surprising. Because protecting your kidneys is not only about lowering sugar, reducing inflammation, or eating the right vitamins. In recent years, scientists have discovered something that changed the way many experts think about kidney disease entirely. The health of your gut may directly influence how fast your kidneys age. Most people never connect digestive health with kidney function. But think about how many adults over 60 struggle with bloating, irregular digestion, inflammation, or years of processed foods and antibiotics. What many don't realize is that when the gut microbiome becomes unhealthy, harmful compounds called uremic toxins begin building inside the body. And those toxins eventually travel through the bloodstream straight to the kidneys, forcing already tired kidneys to work even harder just to keep the blood clean. That's why plain Greek yogurt can be incredibly powerful for people over 60. Not the flavored versions loaded with sugar, but real plain Greek yogurt filled with live probiotics. These beneficial bacteria help restore balance inside the gut, lowering inflammatory toxins before they ever reach the kidneys. In fact, studies published in Beneficial Microbes found that improving gut bacteria was associated with lower creatinine levels and better kidney function markers in adults with early-stage kidney decline. And many people noticed changes they never expected after adding plain Greek yogurt to breakfast several times a week. Less heaviness after meals, steadier digestion, clearer energy, even fewer cravings for processed sugar throughout the day. Because sometimes the kidneys are not struggling alone. Sometimes the gut has been quietly making their job harder for years. And this may be the most important thing to remember from this entire video. Kidney decline rarely happens all at once. It happens silently through small habits repeated every single morning. But the encouraging news is that healing can begin the exact same way, one better breakfast at a time. Your kidneys are not asking for perfection. They are asking for support. Small daily choices may seem insignificant in the moment, but over time they become the difference between a body that slowly breaks down and a body that still has the strength to heal. Even after 60, your kidneys are still working for you every second of every day, quietly filtering your blood and protecting your body without ever demanding attention. And they deserve care in return. So tomorrow morning, don't focus on changing your entire life overnight. Start with one simple decision. One bowl of oatmeal instead of sugary cereal. A handful of blueberries instead of processed snacks. 2 eggs prepared the right way. Small habits repeated consistently can change far more than most people imagine. And if this video helped you understand your kidneys in a completely different way, make sure to save this video so you can come back to it anytime you need a reminder. Also, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications because Dr. Ethan Caldwell shares new, science-backed health videos every week designed to help adults over 60 protect their kidneys, improve energy, support healthy aging, and stay independent longer. There is still so much hope for your body. Healing does not always begin with dramatic changes. Sometimes it begins quietly, with one peaceful morning, one healthier breakfast, and one better choice repeated day after day. Take care of yourself, and take care of your kidneys.